If you're skinny or fat and you want to change that, you've clicked on the right video. I was skinny up until 2 years ago, and to be honest, it was very challenging and difficult growing up. I was very insecure about my body, and people always told me to eat more and eat more and eat more. My grandpa even, he forced me to eat sweets and cakes and croissants and stuff like that, because he thought that my body would be fixed, because apparently my body had a problem. So if you're skinny and you get pushed around by your friends, or you're fat and you're insecure, and people give you backhanded compliments and they're trying to be discreet, but they always mention that you're a big guy, they say, "What's up, big guy?" Stuff like that, then you've clicked on the right video. I'm going to cover everything from diet to what exercises you should be doing in the gym, so make sure to stick around to the end. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a bit of a motivational speech to kickstart your journey in the gym. By the way, you've already noticed, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything in this video. If you don't already know me, my name is Angel, and I'm a very raw guy. I give unfiltered advice, and because we are trying to make real progress here. We're not like the fitness influencers that do challenges where they get a construction worker and they get a power lifter and see who's stronger, and any bullshit like that, because those videos are they're just dopamine filled, and they don't give you any real advice and any real benefit. The videos when they give you the bar with the spiral in it, you have to bend it, or they have the unliftable dumbbell and they see who can lift it. That's not real advice. That's not going to help you. And we're here to learn. We're not here to get dopamine into our brains. This is a no bullshit guide where I give you raw advice and any tips I've picked up over the last 2 years of my fitness journey, and what also I've learned from watching experienced guys in the gym, and also some science research and stuff like that. Also, I'm going to explain everything in detail, so no matter if you're advanced in the gym or you're just starting out, you're going to learn something in this video. The first step in your fitness journey is determining if you need to cut or bulk. Before you find out if you need to cut or bulk, I'm just going to explain some very basic stuff about calories. A calorie is a unit of energy. We get most of our, 99% of our energy from food, and every food has calories in it and energy in it, whether that's a lot or a little. So for example, vegetables have a very little energy and very little calories, but nuts and red meat and oily stuff like oil or animal fat has a lot of energy in it. And bulking is consuming more calories than you burn in a day, and cutting is consuming less calories than you burn in a day. And when you cut, you lose weight, and when you bulk, you gain weight, whether that's fat or muscle. Ask yourself, am I more fat than this person that you see on the screen? And just really think about it. You can even take off your shirt and look in the mirror and compare yourself. If the answer is yes, you need to cut. If the answer is no, you need to bulk. And if you're unsure, then it just comes down to personal preference, whether you want to look more shredded for the summer or if you want to look bigger. The next step is to go onto Google and type in calorie calculator and click on the first link, or just click the second link in the description. And then you're going to follow the steps on the website to calculate your maintenance calories. And if you're unsure about your height or weight, measure it, and don't just assume, because you want to be as precise as possible. And go do that right now. No, seriously, go do it. By now, you should have calculated your maintenance calories. And what that means is the amount of calories you need to eat in a certain day to not increase or decrease in weight, to stay the same weight. If you haven't already calculated your maintenance calories, then go do it right now if you want this video to help you. If you don't want this video to help you, then you don't have to follow any of the steps. And as I was saying, if you want to bulk, then just add 300 to 500 calories to the number you got from the website. And if you want to cut, then subtract 300 to 500 calories from the number. You get the point. So now the question is, how do I know how many calories I'm eating in a day? And the simple answer is just download MyFitnessPal. That's it. That's all you have to do. And I would really recommend investing in a food scale. That has helped me a tremendous amount. That's helped me make way more progress. And there's actually a study that suggests that humans are absolutely terrible at assuming the number of calories you're eating. If you're bulking, then you're gonna overassume, and if you're cutting, then you're gonna underassume. And you think you're not being biased, but you actually are. So just get a food scale, download MyFitnessPal right now. After 2 weeks of being on your new diet and you notice your weight hasn't changed, then just be more extreme with the calories you add or subtract to your diet. The only method to gain weight if you have a fast metabolism is to eat more. And the only way to lose weight if you have a slow metabolism is to eat less. That's it. The second part of this guide is the gym. Specifically getting a gym membership and exercising. If you don't already have a gym membership, then wake up. It's 2025 and 70% of the guys in your school have a gym membership or they do resistance training in some way, whether that's from sports or from calisthenics. No wonder any girls don't want to hold eye contact with you when you don't have a gym membership and you look like a twink or you look like a fat ass. Here's the challenge. Get a gym membership within 24 hours of you hearing these words. If you don't, then you're a bitch. If you think that it's expensive, it's not. Like Planet Fitness is only $10 a month. Like most Planet Fitnesses are only $10 a month. And you can probably find, but if you don't have a Planet Fitness near you, then there's a bunch of other gyms that are $15 a month or even $20 a month. Like $20 a month is not that much. It's $240 a year. Like I personally would pay $240 a year to have constant access to a gym. And if you don't have money, then just do Uber, like DoorDash, stuff like that. It's a quick way to make cash, or just get a part-time job, like when you have to work like 2 extra hours after school. Whether or not you take action after you hearing me say this says a lot about how determined you are and how bad you want it. Unless you want to do calisthenics and that like you would find that really enjoyable, then sure, you don't need a gym membership to exercise. But most people, when they get a gym membership and they're wasting their own money, they are more determined to go there because they don't want to feel like they're wasting their money. But if you do want to start in a gym and you feel like you wouldn't really enjoy calisthenics and you wouldn't be doing it consistently enough, and you don't get a gym membership, then you just don't want it bad enough. Fitness is not for you, and you're not even determined to make a change and to change your body. However, if you do get into calisthenics, then you have to make sure like you're consistent with it and you build a habit about that. And even with the gym, like you just have to be consistent, whether you're doing calisthenics or you're going to the gym. Because 80% of Americans don't have a gym membership or they don't exercise at all. And you should be proud of yourself. On the first day, you're going to be excited, but don't go too hard because we want to progressively overload. And that phrase has two meanings. Progressively overload means progressively overload the weight that you're using in the gym and progressively overload the intensity and the length of your exercise session. Because what's going to happen, you're going to go too hard, you're going to push too hard, and then you're going to feel sore or you're going to feel discomfort and you're going to feel the burning in your muscles while you're exercising, or the day after you're going to feel the soreness in your muscles, and then you're going to say to yourself, oh, this is way too hard, I'm going to skip the next couple of days. And then you're not going to, what I'm trying to say is gradually easing into it is way better than jumping like headfirst into exercising and lifting weights, because it's just human psychology. You're more likely to stick to it if you gradually ease into it. Eventually you're gonna get into the stuff that you want to do, like exercising for 1.5 hours every day, and yeah, you get the point. Then you want to choose the split that you're gonna do. A split is basically your routine, your weekly routine. I recommend the Arnold split because that develops your upper body evenly, and unlike the push-pull legs split, which emphasizes your chest and your back over your arms. After about a week or however long it takes you to adapt to the gym environment and get into a routine, you should start following the split. So I've made a simple list of exercises that you might find useful, and these exercises I do consistently, and I've been doing them from the start. And I think I've not been doing them from the start, but over the years I've chosen these exercises as my own favorite, like personal favorites, and I think they're the most effective for beginners and for advanced people. I think if you do too much research and you scroll on TikTok too much and on Instagram Reels and you see all these influencers doing a bunch of different exercises, then you can get overwhelmed, and that's going to draw you away from the gym, and we don't want that. We want to make the gym as enjoyable for you, and a simple way you can do that is to follow these exercises at least for a couple of months, and then you can start doing your own research. I'm going to put up a picture of the exercises and the split, and you can just take a screenshot, and I'm quickly going to go over every single one. So lateral raises, shoulder press, cable tricep push down, overhead cable tricep extension, skull crushers, machine preacher curls, hammer curls, reverse curl, forearm curls. And then for chest and back, machine chest press, incline press, machine flies, 90-degree machine rows, lat pull down, any grip, and pull-ups, any grip. And then legs, hack squat, seated hamstring curl, machine calf raise, and aquatic section. So take a screenshot of this. I know it seems kind of overwhelming, but if you don't know how to do any exercise, then go on the internet and do some of your own research. Like quickly go onto YouTube, type in how do I do, let's say 90-degree machine rows, and then click on the first short that pops up, and the guy in the short is going to explain. Or for example, how do I do a overhead cable tricep extension? Like that seems way too complicated, but trust me, I know these names look complicated and scary, but trust me, it's easy. It's very simple. There's nothing to be scared of. As I said, you need to gradually ease into it, starting at 10 to 20 minutes of exercise per day, and then gradually increasing that time over the span of like 3 to 4 weeks to 40 to 60 minutes per day. And honestly, you don't need more than 60 minutes of exercise. Any more than that is just excessive. Let's talk sets, reps, and intensity. A rep is a cycle of the motion of the exercise. So when you're doing, for example, push-ups, like doing this and this is 1 rep. Doing this and this and this and this, that's 2 reps. And a set is a series of 5 to 30 reps without any rest in between the reps. And I recommend doing 5 to 10 reps per set and 2 to 3 reps. I recommend doing 5 to 10 reps per set and doing 2 to 3 sets per exercise. There we go. And rest 3 to 6 minutes in between sets. When you walk into the gym, you have, let's say, 100 energy points in your nervous system. So your nervous system is basically how hard you can push in the gym. If you're fully rested, then you can go at 100%. And after you've done like a couple sets, then that decreases to like 80%, then 70%, then 60%. And after a certain point, doing extra sets is not effective and is actually ineffective. So that's why we have these numbers, like only do 2 to 3 sets per exercise, because doing any more after that just builds up the lactic acid in your muscles and fatigues your muscles. And when your muscles are fatigued, then it takes way more time to recover for the next session. When you're doing any exercise, you want to control the eccentric part of the movement, and what that is basically the negative. So when you're working with gravity instead of against gravity. And why that is because studies actually show, I'm not trying to be a nerd, but studies actually show that you build more muscle from the eccentric movement, and if we make that part last like 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, then you're going to build more muscle. You're going to be safer and build more muscle when you control the weight on the way down. Speaking of safety, look up form videos and do warm-up sets. So if you're unsure how to do an exercise, it's way more advantageous and safer to look up a video of someone doing that exercise before than you just jumping into it and figuring it out on yourself, because you might be doing some exercises wrong and you might even not know it. So as I said, go on YouTube, look up how to do the hack squat. If you don't know how to do that, just look up how to do the hack squat, and usually the first video is the most correct one. And warm-up sets, you probably know about this, I don't even need to explain it. Before you do your working set, which is the more intense set, you want to do a less intense set of, let's say, half the weight or 75% of the weight, and just do like 1 or 2 warm-up sets of 10 to 15 reps, and to warm up your muscles and to, stretch out your muscles. I don't know. It's way safer that way. After about 2 to 3 weeks of going to the gym, you should be experienced, pretty experienced, not advanced level, but you should know what you're doing in the gym. You should have a grasp of fitness and how your body works and stuff like that. This is where it gets really hard, and most people can't do what I'm about to say. And that is going to failure, true failure. In the first couple of weeks, you've made some progress, but you haven't unlocked your newbie gains. Newbie gains is when a beginner in the gym makes way more progress than an experienced person in the gym, because your body is not used to exercising, and the shock of exercising forces your body to build more muscle. You could not go to failure and exercise for 3-4 hours a day and still not make as much muscle as the person that's going to failure and exercising only 30 minutes a day. So you should be really interested in this, because this is the cheat code that most people think they're doing, but they're not actually doing. So most people, they do about 12 sets per exercise and they put down the weight without even feeling the burn. Or maybe they feel a little bit of the burn and they think they're making progress, but they're not actually making progress. What you're gonna do, and what every advanced person that actually knows what they're doing will recommend that you do, is pump out as many reps as your body can physically handle. And you should know you've hit failure when you physically can't even move the weight even a millimeter. You should be, when you hit failure, your reps should be so slow. That's when you end the exercise. Maybe you're doing legs and you're squatting and you're pushing, but the bar doesn't move, you're stuck in place. That's when you know you've hit failure. And what you can do that most people aren't doing is half reps. Half reps is when you've hit failure, and instead of just putting the bar down, you go down and you push the bar up as much as you can, and then you go down and you push it. So let's say I'm doing the bench press again, and imagine I'm laying down. So the first 4 reps are pretty easy. The next 4 reps, the bar is moving pretty slow. The next 2 reps, the bar is moving very slow, just like that. Then the next rep, the bar is moving extremely slow, like that. Then I finally get it. Then I'm like, okay, that was hard. And at that point, I should be sweating and gritting my teeth and giving it everything I've got. Then on the next rep, it goes slow. Then it just stops. It stops moving. At this point, I'm fighting demons in my head. I'm pushing as hard as I possibly can, and my chest is burning in pain. Right? Then it stops. And some people would stop here, but you go down again, then you push up again. And it should move a little bit, but not too much. And then you go down again and you push again. And then again. And if you do 2 or 3 half reps, then you should be fine. You're done. You've earned your rest. And you might think, wait, isn't that unsafe? When I tear my muscles? No, this is not unsafe if you have the right form, if you're warmed up, and you're not ego lifting. Ego lifting is basically lifting too much weight. So if you check these 3 things off, then you're completely safe. If you notice that the weight feels too light after a while, then don't be afraid to increase it. You want to be exercising with the heaviest weight possible that you can safely handle. Before we get into the diet section, click the first link in the description to get extra advice from me on building your dream Greek god physique and attracting girls. Diet. This throws off many people. My theory on diet is you can still build muscle even if you're dirty bulking and your diet is trash. So the healthiness of your diet doesn't correlate at all with how much muscle and fat you build, as long as you're eating the right amount of calories and the right amount of protein. Dirty bulking is very effective because you don't have to force feed yourself, and the food you eat is tasty and goes down really easily. Unlike when you're eating ground beef and you chew for 30 minutes before you can swallow. Of course, I'm kidding. Do you really want to settle for an unhealthy diet? Healthy diet improves your sleep, your recovery, your hormone balance, your testosterone, and the list goes on and on and on. Like I could sit here for 5 minutes listing the benefits to your body and brain of a healthy diet. And all of these benefits will help you build muscle more than the person that's dirty bulking. That's all that needs to be said. End of debate. A healthy diet is clearly and evidently superior to dirty bulking. Beef, chicken, sweet potatoes, Greek yogurt, protein powder, raw milk, a little bit of salad, kefir, eggs, cheese, berries, bananas, and a little bit of rice. These are the basic healthy foods that you can start with, and then you can experiment with other foods. Like you can experiment with these foods and see how you feel, see how your body feels, and you can change your diet. But these are the basic foods that I would start with because they're very advantageous for building muscle and losing fat, and also they're healthy. A quick tip: before you go to the gym, eat some carbs. So eat a banana, eat a spoonful of honey, or you can eat berries, and that will give you extra energy. Close your eyes and imagine something. Once you build a significant amount of progress, women will give you their attention and men will give you their respect. Every time you see a mirror, you stop and flex, and you even take a couple of pictures of yourself. When you post these pictures of your physique on your story, you see all the girls in your class liking it and your friends and family members hyping you up, saying that you look like a beast and you really changed. It is really a beautiful journey. I hope you take some action from this video because it will change your life. And if you do, your body will transform into a Greek god statue. But something else will change too, that is way more important than your body. Do you know what it is? Your self-image. We all wish we could have started earlier. We all wish we could travel back in time and do things differently, or slap some sense into our past selves. Make sure the future you isn't thinking that about the current you.